Alright everyone, welcome back to Geneforge 1 Mutagen. This is a remake of an old game. It was very good. This is episode 2. We are going to continue on with our journey. Alright. So we just killed ourselves a couple of these little lizard things that we have. They're called Fioras. And I've got 2 of them. Oh, there's a dead end here, so we gotta go down this one. You can see on the mini map where I'm going. I've already explored these places, but there's nothing there. Can't get in there just yet. Oh, another one. Oh man, he straight killed him. Oh, we have a locked door. Alright. We've won those 2 battles. Let's see if there's anything back here. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, this is clickable. The worn writing on the obelisk is still legible. Quarantine Hall. All arrivals and departures must meet with the servant mind before proceeding. Quarantine halls are placed between the ruins of the docks and the main research facility. These ruins must go on for quite a ways. Give me a little drink of water here. Alright. They automatically open. This was a storage warehouse. Well, it still is. But now, instead of housing useful supplies, it holds old trash and rotten sacks. On the counter to the west, there is something useful remains. There are several thorn batons. These are most useful. Most are dried up and dead, but one looks still alive. Thorn batons are useful shape. Thorn batons are one of the Shaper's most ingenious creations. They mix a living and inert matter, plants mixed with the touch of an animal, grown in a metal frame, capable of firing long, sharp thorn at high velocity. When unused, they go into hibernation and can live for a long time. Most of the batons abandoned in this room have died, but one managed to survive. 2 managed to survive by the looks of it. Oh, the thorn. Okay. The thorns have lived, the batons have not. Okay. What are these sticks? We don't really have some. Okay. Alrighty. You enter the ruin of the quarantine hall. It is not entirely abandoned. You see another feral creation in the far corner. Thing Mandley Thal is leaning against a pillar, barely recognizing its surrounding. The bones of its prey litter the floor around it. A pathetic creature, but dangerous. If you keep your distance, you might be able to slip around it. Some encounters can be evaded with stealth. Only you notice close enough you get an A question mark. Warning will appear before. Okay. I don't really feel like doing that, so we're gonna start. Just kill this thing. Lizard. That was very mean of him. Some more thorns. We'll choose the sandals and take the shield. Notes on combat. This was the quarantine waiting hall. People wishing to enter and leave Sasaya Island through this port waited here to be questioned and inspected by the servant mind. And sure enough, this mind is still here, resting to the north. You marvel at the skill of the shapers who shaped these remarkable creatures. They were given remarkable lifespan. This thing is still alive. A serpent mind is a very specialized and useful sort of creature. Once grown, it never moves again, spending its entire life on a stone crib made to fit it. Once there, it spends its entire life thinking, remembering, analyzing, and advising the shapers. As you approach, you can see this creature struggle to rouse itself from its slumber. It seems likely that it's eager for company after its years here. You carefully approach the servant mind, unsure of how long its solitude has affected its brain. Fortunately, its eyes are clear and bright, and its body appears whole. It has the massive, lumpy skull characteristic of these strange creations. Welcome, Shaper. I mind Tavit. It says reflectively, as reading from an internal scripture centuries old. Do you wish to pass through quarantine? I am sorry, Shaper. I am limited in my scope of knowledge. When I was left here, I was given no further information or instructions. I do not know. I have spent all that time in hibernation. The decay of my internal organs indicates that time was well over a century. I am sorry that I cannot be more precise. You are the first since I was abandoned. The purpose of the place is research. I am functioning properly. I can still do what I was made to do. I was not made to have other thoughts. What do I have to do to... there anything behind him? Because there's a whole bunch of room on this table. Nope. Nothing there, and he's not impeding me, so I can move on. On this side of the quarantine hall, you can see another flock of Ornoks, watched over by a servile. Serviles are one of the greatest Shaper creations. They are the most common and valued servants of your people, intelligent, hardy, obedient, and featuring hands with opposable thumbs. They are also easily controlled. If there are serviles here, this island must not be as savage as you fear. Serviles are weak and easily cowed creatures. If they are any real threat here, they would have quickly wiped out. They would have been quickly wiped out. Your emergence from this hall is clearly the last thing your servile expected. He looks terrified at first, then curious. Then he leaves his flock behind to run and speak with you. He probably wants fresh orders. Servile walks boldly up to you. You inspect each other. It seems to be the same design as the creature from which you are completely familiar. Same hutched posture, number of limbs, and so on. It looks very surprised to see you. However, it doesn't have the attitude of immediate obedience you have come to expect. It seems more curious than anything. After a few awkward seconds of staring, it speaks. I don't think I'm mad. It's a Shaper. A Shaper has come at last. Oh, it has been years since anyone has come through that door. A Shaper has come. This is so wonderful. Oh, but where are my manners? I am Timo. I am a shepherd. I grazed my Ornoks because nobody comes here. Oh, I must go to Vakiri. I must tell my people of a Shaper. I must tell my people a Shaper has come at last. Vakiri, it is our humble village. He points to the east. It is that way, not far, not far. I should tell a Shaper has come at last. Our home is humble and small, but with no Shapers around, we did what we could. I have no idea. You should go to Vakiri. There are many. They are wiser than me. I should go there now. They should know there is a Shaper among us. Timo grows even more nervous. I do not know. You are the only one. You are the Shaper. You have returned, and we can serve. You seem somewhat rescinded about saying that last word. If you need food or a safe place to rest, you may not be a Shaper, but a guardian or an agent. All three sects are generally referred to by the outside world as Shapers. Now that you have crossed the zone and has been cleared, you will be capable of passing through it on the world map. If you want to review your notes and be reminded of your current quests, click on the journal. Okay. I burned metal. Now we must go to Vakiri. Alright. The city of Vakiri. By city I mean very small, tiny town. You enter, for the first time, a colony of serviles on Susuya Island. There is a good deal of astonishment on both sides. The creations seem to have done well on their own, much better than you would have suspected. They have moved into the Shaper ruins and made them their own. They have crops, shops, and guard patrols. The serviles, in turn, are speechless. They have clearly been without a Shaper's influence for many years, and they have no idea how to react. They look overjoyed, relieved, and terrified at the same time. Most of all, though, they look expectant. They watch you carefully, gauging your every move, wondering how you are going to treat them. The power of the Shapers has always completely overwhelmed that of their creations. You, however, don't have the full power of a Shaper. You are weak, tired, untrained, and alone. Fortunately, they don't seem to know that. Awakened wishes. We of the Awakened have fair requests. When the Shapers return, they will presented in the spirit of the openness and good wishes. Any creation with the presence to say, I am thinking, free being must be one. A free thinking creation will be bound by the same laws as common and be punished for the crimes in the same way. A free thinking creation will be able to sell goods and labor freely and bound by the same laws as in common. A free thinking creation capable of magic can apply to learn this power according to the same laws as common. Drink some more. Alright. Gained some lore there. These are the Awakened. Got some chests. I don't really want them looted because it would probably be a bad idea. This servile's robes are heavily stained and in places dissolved. The little house is packed with equipment and supplies to make pods and spores. Even considering what you've already seen, this is a little shocking. Working magic, even alchemy, is reserved for Shapers alone. The servile bows to you, completely unashamed. He says, Welcome, Shaper. Welcome at last. I am Ham. Welcome to my home. You know how to make pods? I'm glad you asked. When you Shapers left, you left behind many things like equipment and a school. This was long ago. We had many years to study your writings and artifacts. We had no choice. It was for survival. You should be proud you've achieved so much. Ham beams with pride. I am so grateful you think so. Though I am awakened, I still have a great deal of respect and admiration for your kind. Thank you for your techniques and good example. They're all over. He points to the box in the corner. I have found some in the ruins recently, but I can't get the lock open. He thinks, we Awakened believe in fair trades. If you can find a way to get the box open, I would pay you for your time. And I'm sure you could use more supplies. Did you try picking the lock? Of course, it is too complicated. You need living tools. Serviles have a hard time using those. They do not respond to us well. Alright, where is this chest? Open box. The box is locked and you do not have enough living tools to get it open. You need to... The servile is large and round under her robe, far more than you have ever seen. Unusual. When she sees you, she grins, showing a mouth full of healthy teeth. She bows to you. You notice she wears gold rings and a jeweled necklace. Clearly, some serviles are wealthier than others. Welcome, Shaper, she says. I am Dreet of Vakiri, recently of Penitel. Up until recently, then I came here. I wish to join the Awakened. I was tired of the serviles of Pentile and their obeyer gibberish. We are originally made to serve, but yes, that time's past. We obey mindlessly no longer. Tell me about the obeyers. They believe that the Shapers are the true masters and that to be happy they must follow and obey you in all things. I came here to claim fealty to the Awakened. We believe that we must rise to face you Shapers as equals. We know that there is a risk in this path, but we also know what we must do. You belong to the Awakened now? Yes, if you wish to learn more of the Awakened, find Cencia. She works in the main barracks. She can teach you. You do not wish to serve. Why are you still called serviles? Was a difficult decision. It was the name you gave us. We do not know whether we should keep it. Finally, we chose to. It reminds us of who we are and where we came from. But we're on this island. We will not be servants again. Okay. Buy and sell. You are accustomed to seeing expressions of greed and cunning in the eyes of humans. To see such entrepreneur zeal in the eyes of a servile is unexpected and unnerving. The servile walks up to you eagerly. Shaper or not, the servile wants to trade. Welcome, Shaper. I am Cole. Welcome to my trading post. I exchange goods with sentient beings all over Socia Island. I need to sell stuff. Deck. Do you want some? Doesn't want the scales. Want a bowl? No. What a shield? No. How about a tunic? No. Dagger was willing to be sold with. Other ropes. Nope. Some supplies. Buy a couple of candles. Let's buy 4 candles. Never met a servile shopkeeper before. Well, in the absence of the Shapers, we have had to fend for ourselves. That means growing and making what we need to survive. That means trade. I deal in both servile-made goods and Shaper artifacts. I know nothing about why the Shapers left us, but thankfully they left much behind. This is the barracks. Maybe talking to this servile. What is Cincy? This servile woman is tending to the rows of pallets in this old hall. She looks up at you strangely. There is none of the expected awe and fear in her eyes. She looks at you as if you were merely another servile. It is very strange. I am Cynthia of the Awakened. Well, I welcome you to our humble home, Shaper. Do all of your serviles live in this hall? No. All of Vicuri lives in your old buildings. Many of us live in the barracks, and the others of rank and stature live in private homes. I choose to live here. I like to be close to my fellow serviles. You serviles speak very well. Who taught you to speak like that? She is slightly offended by your question. Who taught us? We did. After the Shapers left our island, we still knew how they spoke. We started to speak that way ourselves. We know that the Shapers think very little of us, that is why I was awakened. Some of us, though, do not speak as well. They do not have aspirations. Who does not speak well? Well, if you mean Clucket, do not give much weight to what he says or how he speaks. He is one of us, but he is foolish, and he speaks foolishness. Do not judge me worse because of him. You said that you were awakened. Tell me more. We are a sect of serviles led by the mighty El-Raha. We believe that the serviles must stand up for ourselves, be proud, claim our intelligence and our birthright, and look to you Shapers as our equals. We know that many Shapers will not approve of this. We will accept the consequences of this. If you wish to know more, you can speak with El-Raha. More of this man. He is our founder of the Awakened. He is our creator. He is old. Now, he was the first to stand up and tell us that we should look out for ourselves. Shapers have abandoned us, and that has made us free. You should speak with him. He lives to the east in the fortress past Watch Hill. What is your job? El-Raha has asked me to stay here and look after serviles to guide them. They are there awakened, but sometimes they return to their weak old Shaper worshipping ways. Usually it is simple, but sometimes there are difficulties. Are you having difficulties now? She looks around to make sure nobody is eavesdropping. I suspect that there is a Taker spy in this village. The Takers are dangerous rogue sect to the east. They want to foment rebellion against the Shapers, an ugly, pointless war. Sometimes they attempt to stir up trouble here, but if you found the spy and brought him to my attention, the Awakened would thank you. Alright. We've done some trading. Next box we find, we're probably going to dump some stuff into it because I'm going to say that this is probably that man's office. The rooms of the Shaping Hall. Here the Shapers built the creatures the town needed to function. They would make Fioras and Theds for defense, Oryx to breed, and so on. Entile serviles are those who can't fit in, can't concentrate or help, resistance to authority, disorganized. There is no cause for the inutile condition. Some serviles are just born that way. There is no order to it. The Shapers, when we knew them, would dispose of entile serviles. This is not just. They may have not immediate utility to the Shaper cause, but they are living things. They must be dealt with. We must find ways to ease them into our society. Brigands and the violent cannot be tolerated, or failing that, they will be allowed to exist on allowed land to exist far from us. We cannot kill them, but we cannot let them harm us either. There is an old Shaper ledger here. The serviles placed it here and reverently cared for it for many years. The mere fact that it belongs to the Shapers makes it incredibly valuable to them. You flip through it amused. The serviles don't seem that it's an old ledger. The records, budgets, and inventories within are probably useless before the island was abandoned. It won't matter to them anyway. All that matters is that it belonged to the Shapers. withered, bent, servile, at least a century old. They were designed to live for a long time, but this one is setting a record. When she sees you, she is overwhelmed with emotion. The servile must exert great effort to keep from breaking down. She stares up with you in awe, as if gods walk the earth now. Maybe they do. With a trembling voice, she says, "Welcome back, Shaper. I am Learned Pin. Welcome to my home. Welcome at last." Why are you called Learned? It is a mark of respect for my people. I have been alive for many years, and I know much history. I will share with you if you want. Your kind has been away for very long. We do not know. Your kind left a century ago. They left us behind. They left behind us serviles. They did not tell us why they fled. I have no idea though. I have an idea though, where you might get a clue in why this isle was abandoned. Tell me where should I look? To the north there is a large ruin. I think it was once a school, where your kind learned the arts. Such a place might still have a servant mind, a mind that might have told why society was abandoned. You might go there and see if the servant mind still lives, and if you can learn anything from it. Be careful though, there are certain rogue creations there. If there weren't, I would have gone and looked for it myself. I think the servant mind's there. I met it when I was young. Many years ago, we could enter the school before the island went wild and rogues came. It was friendly then, but confused. Maybe you can talk to it. Many, old and battered. Most of the rogues, they hunt their own lands and leave us alone. But you will have to pass through them for each of the mine to reach the mine. Young shapers. We think, not serviles. Serviles do not get schooled. That's all for me. Oh, there's an essence thing right there. Alright. Learned Pin is nice. She told us some good lore. Strout. There is a quiet, nervous Sorrel lingering in the back of this house. You terrify her. She says in a quavering voice, "Hello, I am Strout. What do you do in this village?" I raise horns. Why are you so nervous? You are a shaper. We are all afraid. We are afraid of how you will control us. Some show it less, but we are all afraid. Her mouth, she closes her mouth tightly. She did not mean to say as much. Do not want to control you. You have nothing to worry about. We are glad to hear you say that, but we will believe it when we see it. Okay, north is up. I like the world map, it's very nice. So we want to go east, so we want to go down here. Yep. Watch Hill. You enter the woods east of Akiri. They used to be more heavily settled by Shapers, and then Serviles. Then the land was gradually abandoned and overgrown. Rogues have moved into the abandoned lands, inching closer and closer to Akiri. There is a road going through these woods. At least one Servile settlement must have survived out there. Oh! You are at the entrance of Watch Hill, the old Shaper watch post. It is a burrow under a large hill. From the top, guardians and agents kept watch over the surrounding lands, looking for rogues and other sources of trouble. The guards lived in the warrens under the hill. It is a common arrangement. However, these caverns have been taken over by savage rogues. Their growls and grunts echo through the tunnels. Okay. Oh, he bumped me. Please eat him. Thank you. Oh, it's a little tool. Shaping hall of this outpost is just ahead. It is not abandoned. It is infested. In the far end, the swirling pools of essence, but they have been corrupted. Dark and viscous, reeking of vinegar. In front of the pools, a bizarre creation grows. Rooted to the floor, a horrible, slimy beast. Roots extend from its base to the pools. Quivering tubes stick out of the top. As you watch, it starts to squeeze a small foray out of them. It is a horrible thing. If this horrible thing is a creation, you've never seen its like. It is a mindless machine for making rogues. Oh, it's time to leave now. Alright, so we're back in Vakiri. We nearly got killed. So we're gonna save the game, and that's gonna be the end of this one. We'll save it under a different name. Nearly died. Anyways, it was good having y'all here with me. Next, we will get our forces back together and go back and try to kill that thing. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.